He shouts that something terrible will happen to him within 3 days, but later that same day, the boss is suddenly found dead in his office. Nelson is shocked and terrified. Without thinking, he accidentally pulls the letter opener out of the boss's body. The moment he realizes what he has done, panic takes over. If anyone sees him holding the weapon, they will think he is the killer. Desperate, he tries to put the letter opener back, but no matter how hard he tries, he cannot fix the situation. At that moment, Nelson thinks about asking a colleague for help. However, the colleague walks in and sees Nelson covered in blood with the weapon in his hand. The colleague is instantly terrified. Just this morning, Nelson had threatened the boss in anger. Now the boss is dead, and Nelson is standing there with the weapon. Before Nelson can explain anything, the situation becomes even worse. Realizing no one will believe him, he decides to run. He rushes toward the elevator. When the people inside see him covered in blood, they freeze in fear. No one dares to move or get out. Suddenly, the weapon slips from his hand and falls to the floor. Not long after the police arrive at the building, Nelson knows that no matter what he says, the situation will look terrible. Taking advantage of the chaos, he pretends to be injured and escapes, but by pure coincidence, he runs into the real killer, who had escaped through a pipe. The killer looks at Nelson acting strangely and assumes he might be crazy. With no time to think further, the killer quickly gathers his things and prepares to leave. Meanwhile, Nelson keeps running until he reaches a bridge. He realizes carrying the murder weapon will only make things worse, so he decides to throw it into the river and destroy the evidence. But his throw goes terribly wrong. Instead of falling into the water, the weapon lands directly on a police patrol boat. Now the situation looks even worse. Panicking again, Nelson runs away immediately. What he does not know is that the police have already identified the real murderer. A hidden camera inside the office clearly recorded the killer's actions, but Nelson has no idea about this. Whenever he sees the police, he reacts like a mouse seeing a cat. At one point, he hides inside a garbage bin for a long time. Thinking the coast is clear, he slowly climbs out. But the moment he looks around, he sees police officers nearby again. With no other choice, he quickly climbs back into the bin. Hours pass and it becomes completely dark outside. He tries to come out again, but the police are still around. Finally, late at night, most of the officers leave. Carefully, Nelson sneaks away from the area. He finds a phone booth and calls his family. He tells them he might have to escape to Mexico. Until he can prove his innocence, he will have to live as a fugitive. After that, Nelson goes to an ATM to withdraw money for his escape. But just after entering his code, he suddenly realizes something. The ATM camera may have already recorded his face.